Well, this chapter was the absolute most difficult to write for me. Okay, you may ask why. It's because I did not know what stories or what content I should highlight because it seems like for the last 40 years, everything about my life has been supernatural. I've just seen too much. I did not know where to start or what to say or where to go. So, um, part of why I started a YouTube channel was so that I could put out there some of the things that I just wanted to put out there, but in book form, okay, it's not going to really lend itself to really get into it like I want to get into it. So hopefully you enjoyed the things I did get into in this chapter, and you know, you may not believe some of them. You may not believe a lot of what I said in the book. That's okay. It's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I will not trade what I don't know for something that I do know. And I do know that God is real and that He does uh, supernatural things in our lives. And so let me just maybe just address in the part of the book that is at the end of the chapter called chapter reflection, those three questions. And I really would like to hear your thoughts on these, where you can go over and uh, say, "Hey, I'm in chapter, what are we chapter in 9 here, and this is what I think," and I will read them, and I know I will be blessed, and be nice over there, and if someone maybe attacks me, you don't need to defend me, okay? Just keep it all, nice and kind if possible. I know the temptation can be there, so here's question 1 in chapter reflections on page 155, okay? Number 1, do you believe God can show up in your personal life supernaturally? That is the foundational question, right? Because if you don't believe God can show up supernaturally, you're probably not going to see or be aware of when He does. And I believe He shows up in all of our lives supernaturally every day, whether you believe it or not. And uh, when you really think about it, and you acknowledge, which acknowledge means you act on the knowledge. When you acknowledge God moving in your life supernaturally, you'll be amazed at what other things He does for you. Okay. And question number 2, have you ever been so focused on wanting something spectacular from God that you missed the supernatural? Oh boy, I could write another chapter on this because uh, we think everything God does has to be like spectacular, like wow. But if we're always waiting for that, we're going to miss the supernatural. One of the first books I read when I became a believer was Faith, Foolishness, and Presumption. And I really am happy that I read that book because so many times as Christians, when we go about our lives, we're being foolish or we're presuming things and we're not operating and walking in faith. And without faith, it's impossible to please God. But we must believe that He is, that scripture goes on to say, I think it's in Hebrews, and we must believe that He is a rewarder of those who diligently seek Him. If you're reading this book, you're qualified for the category of diligently seeking Him because that's what you're doing. I mean, this book, over 300 pages, um, you have to be a little diligent to get through it. And the last question here in chapter reflections, question number 3 is, have you ever felt the pressure to be ashamed of the gospel of Christ? If so, how did you handle it? And if you want the power of the gospel, the good news of Jesus operating in your life, you have to, as I indicated in this chapter, not be ashamed. Okay. And shame backs us up, it causes us to retreat into a corner. And this is a time, especially in this anti Christian culture that's out there coming at us, it is normal or natural. Let me put it that way. It's natural to, kind of draw back and retreat. And unfortunately, the option is to retreat into our little Christian subculture, and we surround ourselves only with people that agree with us. And if anything comes and we see anything on the internet that rocks our faith or attacks our faith, we lose our mind because we're not secure in it. We're not secure in what we believe. We are ashamed of it. Paul had every opportunity, as I indicate, to be ashamed of the gospel, but he wasn't because he knew that it was the power of God. If you want supernatural things to be an everyday occurrence in your life, then you cannot be ashamed, okay? And, oh, there's just so much I wanna share. That's why I encourage you to go over to YouTube, channel, check that out, and I'm gonna be adding more videos, especially after I get done with all this, books content, so go check that out, and, if you haven't got the book, be sure that you go over to kevincortezbook.com. These videos will make much more sense if you're following along in the book. And also, if you really wanna understand where I'm coming from, go over to the Patreon, uh, account that I've set up over there, where you can interact on a little bit more of a personal level, and also I can put up content there that I might not necessarily want to put up on YouTube or Facebook because it might be a little bit more sensitive to their algorithms, and, I want to feel free to say certain things that, over there will be a little bit easier, okay? And over there, there's a Discord channel, and, on the Discord channel, I'm still figuring all that stuff out, so please be patient with me. Give me a little grace because it's all new to me. I mean, I'm in my mid-60s, and so it's not like I naturally can pick up on it like these young whippersnappers out there that I enjoy watching, and they just have some great things going on, and their energy is unbelievable, so be a little bit more patient with me because I'm a little bit older. I'm still in my mind young, though, okay? So, alright, and I wanna thank you for watching, and if you are on YouTube or you go over there, be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the like on the video. Go ahead and put in your comments down there. I love to see them and read them. And also, that helps with all of what I'm trying to do. Okay. So, until the next training, I am calling it a training, not a teaching, because I don't want this to just be an exchange of information. I want this to be an impartation, something that you are trained up in, okay? Discipleship, I believe that's where it's at these days. Until then, remember, if you're a believer, if you are a Christian, if you are a Christ follower, you are the normal one. And everybody that's not, they're not normal, okay? They're the crazy ones. We'll see you then. God bless.